Is there anyone out there? Or am I walking alone? It seems every single time.
The first time in AHL history, the American Hockey League All-Stars, Färjestad BK.
Well, it ain't so long before the dawn, when the sun is gonna soar.
Opportunity now for Jason Caffrey, short-handed.
It's the 2014 American Hockey League All-Star Classic, presented by Assante Wealth Management. Next.
From one of the finest cities in Canada, St. John's, Newfoundland and Labrador, it is the 2014 AHL All-Star Classic from Mile One Center. Inside, the very best of the American Hockey League, ready to go to show their skill, to lead the American Hockey League, and an international flavor to the All-Star Classic as Färjestad BK from the Swedish Hockey League, ready to challenge the AHL. Hi everybody, I'm Rob Folds. A pleasure to be with you for the 2014 American Hockey League All-Star Classic in a place where if you can't have fun here, you can't have fun anywhere, St. John's, Newfoundland. We've got a full house on hand, ready to see the AHL All-Stars against Färjestad BK. For those wondering, Färjestad is in Karlstad. It's 300 kilometers west of Stockholm, well, almost halfway between Stockholm and Oslo. There you go. Geography lesson over. Here's the rules for tonight's events. There are 7 competitions. They'll showcase strength. They'll showcase finesse. Stick handling. You can see you've got rapid fire. You'll see the hardest shot. That's right. There'll be a little muscle on display here in St. John, and some of the finest goaltending you will see. Are you ready, St. John's? Get ready. It is the 2014 AHL All-Star Classic presented by Assante Wealth Management. We'll meet the players next. Welcome back inside Mile One Center in St. John's, Newfoundland. Let's meet the teams for the AHL All-Star Classic. To introduce both squads, here's Chris Batstone.
Fans, let's meet Färjestad BK. On defense, number 6, Ludvig Bistrom. On defense, number 7, Sean Bell. At forward, number 11, Christopher Forsberg. On defense, number 14, Oliver Shinglington. On defense, number 15, Wilhelm Westlund. At forward, number 16, Joachim Nygård. At forward, number 22, Per Oslund. At forward, number 28, Tomas Hika. Goaltender, number 30, Pekka Tuonkola. On defense, number 32, Magnus Nygren. At forward, number 33, Linus Froberg. Goaltender, number 35, Fredrik Pedersen Wenzel. At forward, number 36, Charles Bertrand. On defense, number 40, Nicholas Arell. At forward, number 42, Joachim Hilding. At forward, number 44, Milan Gulash. At forward, number 46, Pontus Oberg. On defense, number 47, Ville Lainen. At forward, and the captain, number 51, Ricard Villain. At forward, number 71, Christian Berlund. At forward, number 79, Patrick Loon. At forward, number 89, Jack Connolly. The head coach of Färjestad BK is Leif Carlson. Assistance coaches, Radek Hammer and Klaus Eriksson. The goaltending coach is Eric Grönqvist. Athletic therapist, Matthias Hell. Fitness coach, Peter Jasbis. And equipment manager, Joachim Anderson. Of the year and league champion playing for Färjestad, this player went on to star in the National Hockey League, playing 950 games and recording 817 points over 14 seasons with the Winnipeg Jets. Please welcome honorary captain Thomas Steen. And now, let's meet the American Hockey League All-Stars. From the Toronto Marlies, number 3, TJ Brennan. From the Texas Stars, number 7, Colton Sevior. From the Abbotsford Heat, number 9, Ben Street. From the Rochester Americans, number 17, Luke Adam. From the Milwaukee Admirals, number 18, Colton Sissons. From the Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins, number 19, Brian Gibbons. From the Albany Devils, number 21, Joe Whitney. From the Texas Stars, number 23, Travis Morin. From the Binghamton Senators, number 27, Mike Hoffman. From the Syracuse Crunch, number 28, Brett Connolly. From the Springfield Falcons, number 32, Frederick St. Denis. From the Hamilton Bulldogs, number 34, Dustin Tokarski. From the Chicago Wolves, number 35, Jake Allen. From the Abbotsford Heat, number 41, Chad Billings. From the Rochester Americans, number 44, Braden McNabb. From the Grand Rapids Griffins, number 47, Alexei Marchenko. From the Springfield Falcons, number 72, Cody Goluboff. From the Rockford Ice Hogs, number 73, Brandon Peary. From the Bridgeport Sound Tigers, number 81, Ryan Strome. From the St. John's Ice Caps, number 8, Brendan Kitchnen. From the St. John's Ice Caps and captain of the 2014 American Hockey League All-Stars, number 15, Jason Jaffrey. The coaches of the American Hockey League All-Stars, from the 2013 Calder Cup champions Grand Rapids Griffins, Jeff Blashill, and from the Syracuse Crunch, Rob Sedler. The equipment manager is Ian Cox, athletic therapist Scott McLeod, and assistant equipment manager is Shannon Coney, all from the St. John's Ice Caps. A mainstay in St. John's for 8 seasons with the Maple Leafs, this player has played more games than anyone in the city's AHL history. He captained the Leafs for 5 seasons and appeared in 2 AHL All-Star Classics, including the 2002 event right here at Mile One Center. Please welcome back to St. John's, American Hockey League honorary captain, Nathan Dempsey.
When we come back, we'll talk to Jackson Jaffrey's dad. We'll get ready to go at the American Hockey League All-Star Classic in St. John's, Newfoundland.
The 2014 AHL All-Star Classic on Sportsnet. Brought to you by CCM, the preferred equipment supplier of the AHL. By Newfoundland and Labrador Tourism. And by Assante Wealth Management, providing complete financial advice.
St. John's, Newfoundland will put all of this skill on display. It's the AHL All-Stars hosting Sweden's Färjestad BK in the 2014 AHL All-Star Classic. And it's next. Welcome back inside Mile One Center in St. John's, Newfoundland. I promised that we'd meet Jackson Jaffrey's dad, and here he is, Jason Jaffrey, a captain here in St. John's. Tell me about the reception that you received from the fans here.
It was great. I mean, obviously to be able to wear the C here at home at Mile One, obviously another packed house here. I wouldn't expect any different. You can't say enough about this community, about how much they've supported this team, and I mean, like I said, I wouldn't expect anything different here tonight.
And this isn't your normal AHL All-Star Classic. You take a look across the ice, that's from the Swedish Hockey League, adding a whole international flavor to it.
Exactly, and I'm in a couple of the skating competitions, but I don't like my chances against the Swedes over there, so I think maybe a 5-second head start isn't unreasonable, I don't think.
What I think this too is adds an element that you may not see in normal All-Star games, and the fact that you guys want to really win this game. You really want to represent the AHL.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, everybody here is very competitive, and when it comes down to it, everybody wants to win. That's why they're at this game right now. Is everybody has that competitive nature in them, and at the end of the day, we get a chance to beat a team from overseas. It doesn't matter if they're overseas or it's Manchester Monarchs. We're going to battle hard.
Good luck, enjoy, and rest your legs.
Thanks.
Jason Jaffrey is ready to go. Now, I mentioned we have 7 events here in the All-Star Skills Competition, and the 2 men who'll be calling it, what better place could we put them than the penalty box? Ladies and gentlemen, RJ Broadhead and Sam Cosentino.
Thanks very much, Rob. Some would say it's fitting we're here, but what a terrific welcome, a special moment right off the top for Luke Adam. Of course, St. John's pretty proud of their home son playing here for the first time since 17, so there will be a crowd favorite in that sense, but Jason Jaffrey, maybe some mind games with Färjestad, letting them think maybe they got him.
Yeah, trying to set the tone here a little bit. I mean, what this All-Star Classic is all about is adding competition. Normally you see All-Star teams and everyone's buddy-buddy. You don't get the kind of hitting and stuff you'd expect from a regular hockey game. I think we're going to see something a little different here, and it all starts with tonight's competition.
All right, Ricard Wallin, the captain of Färjestad, he was checking out the roster to see the old guys on Team AHL. Spotted Jaffrey on there. The Sher-Wood puck control relay is brought to you by Sher-Wood. So this will be the first event, the 2 3-on-3 relays, and there will be 2 1-on-1 races after that. And the winning team in each race earns a goal. There's 4 total goals available in this event. All right, we are set to get things started. Going first for Färjestad will be Linus Fruberg, and Brett Connolly will start things off for the AHL All-Stars. Pontus Oberg goes second, Jack Connolly third for Färjestad, and Frederick Saint-Denis and Chad Billings will follow Brett Connolly. And Linus Fruberg wants to get a head start. And we are underway, so they will skate to the far end, grab a puck, and weave their way through the pylons.
You know, Archie, what's interesting about this contest is that it's structured stick handling. Normally, throughout the course of practice, guys can wheel and deal as they see fit. But here, you've got to go through the pylons. If you happen to lose control, you have to go back to the place where you lost control, reset, and continue on your course moving forward.
Pretty even start. Connolly a slight edge over Fruberg. For the AHL All-Stars, it's Frederick Saint-Denis and Pontus Oberg for Färjestad.
Oberg, a second-round pick to the Nashville Predators. You can be sure that they're here keeping an eye on him, a very talented young player.
Saint-Denis with Springfield Falcons. And a good run for Pontus Oberg. Puts Färjestad slightly ahead. Jack Connolly from Duluth, Minnesota, the 24-year-old. Now in the anchor leg for Färjestad against Chad Billings of the Abbotsford Heat.
Billings last year playing for Jeff Blashill and the Grand Rapids Griffins, winning the Calder Cup.
And Jack Connolly brings it home for Färjestad. And a good start for the team from the Swedish Hockey League.
Good job here by Pontus Oberg, as he is the one who vaulted Färjestad into the lead with his run. You know, RJ, it takes extreme concentration. You're taught throughout the course of your career not to look down, but you have no choice in this event to look down to find out where the pylons are. And Oberg did a great job there as Färjestad takes a 1-0 lead.
Look down, look in your peripherals, see where the opposition is. Now the next groups getting a run through the course.
Always important to take that run through because you just want to be sure that once you pick up the puck, you have the exact course mapped out for you, and you don't have to think about that. That takes away one element for you, and so each of the teams will be skated through the course slowly here to make sure that they don't mess up the route, which they must take.
For Färjestad in this group will be Per Oslund, Ludvig Bistrom, and Joakim Hilding. For the AHL All-Stars, Joe Whitney of Albany, Cody Golubev, Springfield, and Brendan Kitchton of St. John's. The first goal going to Färjestad. They won the first Sher-Wood puck control relay. Here we are. The second one is underway. Per Oslund and Joe Whitney.
Great control by Oslund. He skates right by us here in the penalty box. Whitney not giving up much ground. This is a tight one.
Whitney in his first AHL All-Star Classic. Oslund spent a lot of time with Färjestad. Ludvig Bistrom, 19-year-old.
Second round pick to the Dallas Stars in the 2012 draft, and I know Dallas here taking a look.
Cody Golubev, Springfield Falcons, Columbus Blue Jacket system. And again, Färjestad looking strong in this second leg. Crowd getting behind Brendan Kitchton. He's got some catching up to do. Joakim Hilding, leading point man for Färjestad. Loses an edge.
Now Hilding is supposed to pick up the spot in which he lost the puck, and so it's tightly contested now. Looks like Kitchton will get there first.
And Brendan Kitchton with a strong anchor leg gets the point, the goal for the AHL All-Stars.
Joakim Hilding tied for 6th in the Swedish Hockey League in scoring with 35 points, and coming right near us here in the penalty box takes a spill, and that forced him out of the lead. And Kitchton with a nice smooth finish, taking a look up there to see where his competition is, making sure he keeps full control of the puck, and the St. John's Ice Caps defenseman takes it for Team AHL.
It's all those coins falling out of your pocket that he's slipped on.
Sorry about that.
AHL fans, head to the AHL.com for the latest AHL news, scores, live streaming of every AHL game, and to buy great 2014 AHL All-Star Classic merchandise. Don't forget to download the AHL app for iPhone or Android to get the latest news while you're on the go. And be sure to follow the AHL on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for breaking news, great contests, and to connect with fans from across the AHL.
We move now to the individual portion of the event. It'll be Jason Jaffrey against Tomas Hika, and I think Jaffrey's trying to get that head start he was looking for already. He's raring to go.
Well, again, there'll be a hometown favorite.
See if it works. Nah, I don't think so.
Tomas Hika spent some time in the QMJHL with Gatineau. There's a draft to the Los Angeles Kings, and here it is. It's a one-on-one race.
How about that start by Jaffrey?
I think he was playing a little sly off the start. From what he said, now Hika trying to catch up. Jaffrey has a slight edge.
This one's going to come down to the wire, and the captain's got it. And you know what? You can attribute this victory here in the goal for Team HL to the captain of the St. John's Ice Caps for his wonderful start. Might have just jumped the gun. See him looking over, and off he goes. That quick start enabled him to get about a stride and a half ahead of Tomas Hika, and from there, Jaffrey did not look back. 2-1, the American Hockey League All-Stars lead.
And he's a veteran. He's the captain. A little sandbagging off the start. Perfect. Well played. And we will have one more individual head-to-head race, and this is one that I've been excited about. Travis Morin, he's the leading scorer in the American Hockey League, plays with the Texas Stars. He's had a terrific season. And for Färjestad, Oliver Shillington, 16 years old, and by all indications from the teammates and coaching staff, There is a bright future for this young man.
No question. We saw a blade change during the course of the warm-up. We'll see if that increases his speed or his agility. But for Shillington, looking ahead to the 2015 National Hockey League Draft, the name Connor McDavid comes up, as well as the name Jack Eichel. And I think Shillington will definitely be in that group once June of 2015 rolls around. Here's a look at Shillington heading to the bench during the course of the warm-up. Got the blade switched out. We'll see how the new ones work.
This is the final Sher-Wood puck control relay race. It's a one-on-one against Oliver Shillington and Travis Morin. And here they go. Morin, 30 years old, from Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Oliver Shillington looking smooth as he gets to center. Might have a slight lead.
Beautiful stride at the age of 16 to think of the future this young man has.
And Oliver Shillington, no wonder there's so much hype about him. A terrific effort in the Sher-Wood puck control relay to get the point for Färjestad.
Hearing so much about Shillington coming into this event, you wanted to see it live and up close, and absolutely brilliant. Good, long, powerful stride, able to pick up that puck, move and groove through the pylons, and help tie this thing up.
He is a defenseman with Färjestad in the Swedish Hockey League, and you know there's some end-to-end rushes in his future. Maybe we'll see that in the Rob.
Tell me about this very nice. 60.
Good, even fastest skater. Well, I think the AHL team skills competition. Färjestad game-used jerseys, as well as pucks, gloves, helmets, and other great all-star items will be up for auction. Own a piece of AHL history. Before we get to the CCM fastest skater, let's check in with Rob Faulds again with a very special guest.
Tomorrow, the American Hockey League Hall of Fame will grow by 4 members, and one of those members standing by with me right now, Al McNeil, who not only was a player in the National Hockey League, won himself a Stanley Cup, but his Calder Cup resume is impeccable, and he has the highest coaching percentage in American Hockey League history. You get to go to the Hall of Fame, Al.
Yeah, and I'm really proud and really thrilled by it, Ron. It's just one of the nice things that's happened to myself and my family, and I got to thank the American Hockey League for this. My time in the American Hockey League as a player, and as a coach, and as an executive, I mean, it was set the ground rules for when I moved to the NHL, and my NHL career was good, but because of the basic work I did here in the AHL, I'm a big booster of the NHL and the AHL, but the AHL here in Newfoundland is so terrific. And one of the things when we put the American Hockey League into Canada, we wanted it coast to coast, and this is terrific.
Well, it's well deserved, and it's going to be a very special day. You go into the hall with Bill Dineen, Bob Perreault, and somebody very familiar with these parts, John Slaney. Going into the Hall of Fame in the American Hockey League, Al McNeil. Now get ready. I know you've got a need for speed. So RJ, Sam, that leaves me completely out of this competition.
Yeah, you can take a break. CCM Fastest Skater, brought to you by CCM, the preferred equipment supplier of the AHL. For this event, 4 skaters from each team alternating. Fastest time earns 1 goal for his team. Fastest team average earns 1 goal. So there are 2 goals available in this event.
Well, the most important thing here is how wide do you go? How much do you cut the corner? And you look last year, the record was set. Chris Summers, Team East in the AHL All-Star Classic, 13.324 seconds. What's fascinating about this event is you can't cheat on it because the motion sensor signals the start and the finish. So no false starts here. Sorry, Jason Jaffrey.
So 4 players from each side will get an opportunity, and here's Tomaszika. He'll be the one to start us off for Färjestad. From the Czech Republic, 40 games this year with Färjestad, 4 goals, 9 points. He can get to A to B pretty quick. And Tomaszika's off.
Good turn, a little wide there. You can see this guy can get up, put him up, put him down in a hurry. He could turn in that final corner.
14.262 for Tomaszika, and that sets the bar fairly high to start things off.
Far corner, just a little wide for Hika, and here's his final turn. Cuts the net really quickly, but as you do so, it forces you just a little wide. Outside the pylons he goes. Good strong stride to finish for Tomaszika.
Next up for the AHL All-Stars, Mike Hoffman of the Binghamton Senators, Ottawa Senators property, ranked 2nd in the American Hockey League in points.
Just a marvelous story. Mike Hoffman cut from 2 junior teams before making his mark in the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, and since then starting to really rip it up. Since.
Looks like another good run here. Little dive. I think he went under the actual trigger, so we're going to have to get the official timekeeper. The thought process was a good idea.
It's kind of like in baseball when you're trying to beat out that infield single. What do? Do you dive in first or do you run through the bag? For Mike Hoffman, his wheels were good enough on the final turn. Figures he'd get down and dirty to try and help his time. I'm not so sure it did.
Well, we're getting 13.990 was the official time.
There it is.
So Mike Hoffman is the leader. Next up is Joakim Nygård, 21-year-old from Stockholm, and one of the fastest players in Sweden. Let's see if he can turn it on here in the skills competition.
Leif Karlsson, the head coach for Färjestad, said, keep an eye on this guy. He can really get down the ice in a hurry. And Sean Bell telling us he does so effortlessly, and I would have to say that's the case.
That was very smooth. 14.434 will not surpass Mike Hoffman.
The look at that smooth skating stride. You know, the other element you start to think about is you skate your whole life, you're up and down the ice, but in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I don't want to wipe out here.
Here's Brian Gibbons, Wilkes-Barre Scranton Penguins. Played 19 games with the Pittsburgh Penguins this season.
Just returned from the Penguins on Saturday. Them two moving pretty good.
Call that 14.35. Still Mike Hoffman leading the way. The Binghamton Senators.
Gibbons making his National Hockey League debut earlier this season, back on the 18th of November. The Pittsburgh Penguins had a goal and assist in a 3-1 win over Anaheim.
Next up for Färjestad is Charles Bertrand from Paris, France, 23-year-old. And Bertrand trying to beat a time of 13.990 set by Mike Hoffman.
A recent addition to the Färjestad Hockey Club as he transferred over from TPS Turku in Finland.
And 14.882. That early time set by Hoffman, still holding up.
A little bit of a stumble there, which forced the clock backwards, and you have to think without that stumble, he might have been the leader.
The lone European in the AHL All-Star lineup, Alexei Marchenko, 22-year-old from Moscow, plays with Grand Rapids. He's got a game with the Detroit Red Wings under his belt.
Flash of the head coach for the Grand Rapids Griffins, really appreciating his all-around effort through the course of this season with Grand Rapids.
14.823. Only Mike Hoffman's been able to get under the 14-second barrier.
There's Marchenko. Stick up in the air. Maybe a little more resistance than you'd like.
Well, here we go. Oliver Shillington, he was terrific in the Sher-Wood puck control relay. Now he's in the CCM fastest skater.
They start a foot behind the center ice line, and there's a line marked in the ice. You have to obviously start from a standstill, and once you cross center ice, the motion sensor detects your start, and for Shillington, down in the corner he goes, recovers. 17.484.
Well, things get chewed up toward the latter end of this event.
It's that final turn for Shillington. Tries to recover, bounces off the boards, gets back up and on his feet. And that's why, RJ, you see the alternating routes that these players are taking.
Well, the fastest time will belong to the AHL All-Stars. The question is, will it remain Mike Hoffman, or will this man, Brandon Peary, the Rockford IceHogs, be able to beat the time? Peary's actually played more games with the Chicago Blackhawks this season than he has with Rockford.
One of those young players just sent down so that he could continue playing and developing while the Olympic break is on.
And 14.706, Mike Hoffman of the Binghamton Senators was the second skater to go. He set a time that nobody could beat, so he earns a goal for the AHL All-Stars for the fastest time at 13.990, and the average fastest time also goes to the American Hockey League. So that's a sweep, a two-goal sweep for the American Hockey League All-Stars, and the man with the fastest time is with Rob.
Well, I don't know if I should be asking him about his time or about his style. Mike Hoffman, you got some good wheels, but then you decided to slide into home there, face first. Decision or just desperation there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it fooled the sensors a little bit there. I might have got a little lucky to get the win, but, it's all good.
What do you think the key in something like this is? Just keeping your legs pumping when you get around to the end. You got to make that tight turn around the net.
Yeah, I think the turn's the most important part of, the whole race. And if you have a good, coming around there, you should be okay.
Congratulations, Mike.
Thank you.
Mike Hoffman gets it going pretty good. Belly down he was, guys. 3.990.
Mike Hoffman was flying. The AHL All-Stars sweep the CCM fastest skater, take a 4-2 lead. The RBC Rapid Fires.
AHL All-Stars took time earlier this week to give back to the St. John's community as they visited patients at the Janeway Children's Hospital. The American Hockey League and its teams are proud of similar efforts made all year long in 30 AHL cities. Last season, AHL teams raised and donated over $4 million to local and national charities and made over 4,000 appearances in local schools, rinks, and hospitals. For more information on AHL community efforts, visit theahl.com. Ready for another event? Let's go, RJ Broadhead. What do we got?
Rob, we are on to event number 3 with the AHL All-Stars leading 4-2, and it is the RBC Rapid Fire, brought to you by RBC, the official bank of the AHL. For this, there will be 2 shooters and a goalie, 2 rounds per team, alternating 10 pucks per goalie, so 5 for each shooter. 12 seconds will be on the clock. The team with the most total saves earns 1 goal, and there is 1 goal available, so the goaltenders are on display.
This is the first of 3 elements for the goaltenders, 3-part competition for them. The shooter is located 21 feet from the goal, and you have to make your 10 shots within a 12-second span. No slap shots here, just wrist shots and snap shots only, and on your load, you can't go above the waist.
Hockey fans, tune in tomorrow night to many of these same stations for the 2014 AHL All-Star Game. Watch as the AHL All-Stars battle Färjestad in an historic matchup. Visit theahl.com for a full TV listing. So the goaltenders got a little break. They were able to watch. Now it's time to get busy.
Yeah, this is a tough event for the goaltenders. I mean, they go through their warm-up, they take their shots on goal, and then they have to sit through a couple of events before they're called between the pipes.
And for Färjestad, it will be Fredrik Pettersson-Wenzel, 22-year-old. He was drafted by Atlanta back in 2010, and he's finally got the nod as a #1 guy. He's been behind some pretty good guys. Jonas Gustafsson, of course, with Detroit, Christopher Nilstorp with the Texas Stars in the American Hockey League, and off to a pretty good start against Brendan Kitchton and Colton Sissons. Crowd cheers as Kitchton of the St. John's Ice Caps gets a couple in there.
Well, the shooter on the blocker side has a decided advantage here, and that's where Kitchton's loaded up. And you can see Pettersson-Wenzel having to go post to post, post to post. Of course, the shooters have to wait for the referee's whistle. Kitchton with the opportunity there on the blocker side to go top shelf.
Now for the American Hockey League All-Stars, Jake Allen, 23-year-old from Fredericton, New Brunswick, plays with the Chicago Wolves, St. Louis Blues affiliate, and he played some junior hockey here with the St. John's Fog Devils. Another crowd favorite. He'll be up against Milan Gulash, number 44, and 71, Christian Berglund. Berglund's actually played the most NHL games of anyone in this AHL All-Star Classic.
Played in 86 AHL games. And you can see in this event, the goaltenders have to play deep. And that's what Jake Allen was working on in the warm-up. Be strong on your pushes and try and make yourself as big in the net as possible. 6 saves, 4 goals.
Now back to Färjestad goaltending, Pekka Tuokala. He's from Finland, 30-year-old. Only played a couple of games in the Swedish Hockey League with Färjestad. He'll be up against Jason Jaffrey of the Ice Caps and Colton Sevier of the Texas Stars in the Dallas system. Sevier leads the American Hockey League in goals.
This event really tests a goaltender's efficiency. You don't want to overslide here and open up part of the net and get caught behind. Six saves for Tuokala.
So a 4-goal performance from the American Hockey League All-Stars. And now the final round, Dustin Tokarski of the Hamilton Bulldogs, Montreal system. His first American Hockey League Classic. He'll be up against Färjestad's leading scorer, number 42, Joakim Hilding, and Magnus Nygren. There might be some inside information here. Nygren spent the first part of the year with Hamilton. They've been having some friendly chatter back and forth, Tokarski and Nygren have.
Started at the practice this morning where Nygren came out to the bench and was yelling down Tokarski's way, saying, hey, I'm going to take you top shelf. Well, he had the opportunity to do so here in this competition. Tokarski recently acquired by the Hamilton Bulldogs in a trade that sent Cedric Desjardins going the other way to Tampa Bay, who's now the Lightning's backup goaltender.
Well, that was 4 goals, 6 saves for Tokarski. This round goes to Färjestad. The performance from Fredrik Pettersson-Wenzel edges out what the American Hockey League All-Stars could do. Coming up, we will have the CCM Heart a Shot. Streaming of every AHL game and to buy great 2014 AHL All-Star Classic merchandise. Don't forget to download the AHL app for iPhone or Android to get the latest news while you're on the go. And be sure to follow the AHL on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for breaking news, great contests, and to connect with fans from across the AHL. We are getting set for one of the fun events for fans, the CCM Heart a Shot. Before we get to that, let's check in with Rob again.
Well, there are a lot of general managers in the building. One is right here, the Vice President of Hockey Operations for the Toronto Maple Leafs, General Manager for the Toronto Marlies of the AHL, Dave Poulin. You told me during the break you played in Sweden.
I did. After graduating from Notre Dame, I played for a year for Rogla down in Engelholm. And then within the same year, played in the American Hockey League in Portland. So I tie both of these together.
Tell me about the importance of the American Hockey League teams to the success of the National Hockey League teams.
Absolutely important. Without a question, the development side of it, we want our players to develop in the proper manner. And the AHL is doing a great job of making stars for the National Hockey League.
Dave, great to see you.
Thank you.
Dave Poulin is here watching, back scouting, because Färjestad's going to play the Marlies later this month. All right, here we go. Everybody ready for a little muscle? RJ, this is where we all flex, right?
Yeah, we don't want to break our suits over here, so we'll take it easy. CCM Hardest Shot brought to you by CCM, the preferred equipment supplier of the AHL. 4 shooters from each team. It will go alternating between the 2 teams. Each shooter gets 3 attempts, and only the highest shot counts. Hardest overall shot earns a goal for his team, and then the highest team average also earns a goal. So 2 goals are at stake. It is a 1-goal lead right now for the American Hockey League All-Stars, so this is an important event.
Puck is set up 30 feet from the goal line, and you can skate into the shot. Get a couple of cracks at it just to make sure you're getting good wood on everything, and the highest, fastest time, if you will, counts individually and then towards the team.
Well, there's the shooters for Färjestad: Pontus Oberg, Magnus Nygren, and Dustin Tokarski can probably speak for it, but we're told he has maybe the hardest shot in Sweden. Oberg to start things off. And an ooh for the crowd, almost getting into triple digits.
Good start for Oberg, 99.5 miles per hour.
Second round pick of Nashville in 2012. 13 picks later, they took Colton Sissons, so the Predators well represented.
A little slower this time around, 98.3. .94.7. So you don't normally get that kind of time to skate into a shot. It's a little different for the players. Usually not having to think about it and release it quickly is the best way to go. Usually you're better at skills when you don't have to think about it. It's an opportunity where you can skate right into it. And for Oberg, his hardest, 99.5 miles per hour.
TJ Brennan of the Toronto Marlies, leading defenseman scorer in the American Hockey League. 20 goals, and you can see why. He's already hit the century mark with his first shot.
And favorite, former St. John's Fog Devils player, he's lighting it up. Last year, Braden McNabb won the competition, 101.8 miles per hour. Just 0.3 off of that is Brennan.
All 3 over 100. TJ Brennan can fire the puck. 101.5, his best.
He's always had that element to his game, and here in his second shot, looks for the okay. Great extension on the shot there from Brennan. It's funny, a lot of times in this competition, RJ, people say shoot low, it records a better number.
Well, here's Magnus Nygren. We've heard a lot about his terrific shot. He spent some time with Hamilton earlier this year, and here he is with Färjestad. Seems to be a shot is a big key to his goals.
Yeah, you can see guys backing out of the way of that shot, and I don't blame him. This guy can fire it. I would expect to see the century mark hit here on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, a few flamingos on that one. Nygren's first attempt, he can shoot it. 101, just barely behind TJ Brennan's best. And there it is. So far, the hardest one, 101.9. Can Magnus Nygren improve on that on his third attempt?
The record is Mark Mancari in Binghamton in 2008, 102.8 miles per hour. Can Nygren beat it?
Holy smokes! 104.6.
That's a bomb!
Well, we were told, wait until the CCM hardest shot, and Magnus Nygren. That is amazing. 104.6.
Well, you could tell he was lighting it up right from the start, and when you kick things off with 101 miles per hour, you're feeling it. And here, Nygren feeling it. 104.6. That would be a new American Hockey League All-Star Classic record.
Let him keep shooting. He was getting better on every one.
Yeah. A couple more might have hit a .10.
That didn't just set the record, that obliterated it. Because when you're getting up to that speed, it's tough to add miles per hour.
Leif Karlsson telling us he's got the hardest shot in Sweden. I believe it.
All right, so here's the defending champ in this event. Brayden McNabb of Rochester. Last year, as Sam mentioned, hit 101.8. He'll have to better that if he hopes to win this event.
92.5. The post slowing it down for him.
There. Beats his time or his speed from last year. Have to crank it up a little more. 104.6, the speed to beat.
Pretty good showing for Brayden McNabb.
104.6, Magnus Nygren, the hardest shot so far. That's going to be tough to beat.
Third-round pick in the 2009 draft by the Buffalo Sabres, and McNabb with a solid showing once again.
Billy Lajunen, 25-year-old from Helsinki, Finland. Second season with Färjestad.
Hold up.
Raring to go.
.94.5 on the second. I think there's something to it. It's like an old wives' tale, but I think there's something to keeping the puck low.
Well, maybe Magnus Nygren has some secrets. He'll divulge when this is done.
96.8.
Now Alexei Marchenko, Grand Rapids Griffins. 92.5 on his first attempt. Two of his 3 goals this season with Grand Rapids have been game winners, so he scores them at the right time. Can he come up with a big shot on his last attempt?
92.9 for Marchenko, who's making his debut in North American hockey after playing 83 games with the Red Army team in Moscow.
Well, saw Sean Bell stretching out, warming up. Lone Canadian in the lineup for Färjestad from Edmonton.
Played in Germany last year with Mannheim and was fired up for this competition. We talked to him before everyone got out onto the ice, and we saw him warming up at practice today, saying, hey, if I can do it here, I can do it anywhere. And Bell 97.6 on his second shot.
AHL veteran. He's played 362 games in this league, 20 games in the NHL.
.7 for Bell on his final shot.
Well, you'll know if you're watching at home who's coming up to shoot for the American Hockey League All-Stars. It is St. John's very own Luke Adam.
Adam and the rest of the Rochester Americans with the opportunity this year, for the first time in 15 years, the American Hockey League sending a team over to Switzerland, playing the Spengler Cup. A wonderful experience. And getting to share this experience with a couple of former St. John's Fog Devils teammates. Jake Allen and TJ Brennan. 93-7.
Another 20-goal season already for Luke Adam. Well, pretty clear who the winner of the hardest shot was. We get a final look at Luke Adams' attempt. Magnus Nygren, an impressive 104.6, an American Hockey League CCM hardest shot record. And he is standing by with Rob. Don't play goal for him, Rob.
Well, I think I did the math right. 104.6 miles per hour is 167 kilometers an hour. You broke about 4 different speeding laws here in Newfoundland with that shot. It was amazing. Is that something you take a lot of pride in, your shot?
Yeah, of course it's fun. But I never seen how hard I shoot before, so it was the first time. So of course it was fun.
It's the first time you've ever done a competition like this?
Yeah, it is.
Are you enjoying the whole experience? Full house. I mean, a chance maybe to show off your skills and enjoying this experience?
Yeah, of course it's very fun. Everybody in our team enjoyed this a lot, and yeah, we're very happy to be here.
All right, we're going to check out what you have for breakfast tomorrow. He has got the record for the hardest shot in the skills competition, 104.6 miles per hour. Woo!
Magnus Nygren lives up to the hype, and how about Färjestad? They can smile. They're leading through 4 events, 5-4. The Pepsi accuracy shooting is coming up.
March 2nd. As part of the celebration, over 400 rinks in the U.S. will be hosting Try Hockey for Free clinics for kids aged 8 and under on Saturday, March 1st. To learn more about Hockey Weekend and to buy a Try Hockey event near you, visit hockeyweekendacrossamerica.com.
On to event number 5, the Pepsi accuracy shooting, brought to you by Pepsi. Live for now. Each team will have 4 shooters. Teams will alternate. 8 shots per player, 18 seconds on the clock. Most hits and fewest attempts earns 1 goal for his team. Most team hits and fewest total attempts earns 1 goal. So there are 2 goals available in this event as well.
A couple of things to keep in mind here as you look at Matt Fraser last year. The Stars, he went 4 for 5 in the event. Best individual performance for Team West in last year's AHL All-Star Classic Skills Competition. The targets are 15 inches in diameter and the shooter is 25 feet away from the net.
Pontus Åberg, Milan Gulash, Magnus Nygren, he'll go again. Per Osland will go for Färjestad, Ben Street, Ryan Strome, Luke Adam, Jason Jaffrey for the American Hockey League All-Stars. The passers for Färjestad, their captain, Ricard Wallin, and the lone American in the Färjestad lineup, Jack Conley.
That's probably the most important element of this event is the passer. Make sure you're putting it in a good spot. That's the other element of this contest, RJ. The target doesn't have to explode, it simply has to be hit.
Once Pontus Åberg found his groove, he didn't miss. He goes 4 for 8.
Took him a little while to get going here, but once the passes started hitting the tape, he felt really comfortable, relaxed, and started exploding those Pepsi targets.
For the American Hockey League All-Stars, Ben Street of the Abbotsford Heat. 4th-year pro, tied for 2nd in the league in game-winning goals, so he knows where to put the puck. Passers for the American Hockey League are Travis Sevier and Travis Morin, the 2 Texas Stars.
Pretty good start for Street.
And it is Colton Sevier. We were joking earlier that the lineup has them both as Travis. They're so much alike. They've been around each other so long, they're morphing into each other.
They've played together for the last 5 years and been line mates for the last 2 years, so it's easy to see how that mistake was made.
3 for 8 for Ben Street.
Åberg and Färjestad leading with the 4 for 8 by Pontus Åberg.
Don't forget, hockey fans, keep the conversation going on social media. Be sure to use hashtag AHL All-Star Classic. Milan Gulash. He is a point per game since he's joined Färjestad. Got a chance to watch him in practice today. He's got some dangle to his game.
Yeah, very impressive. One of the more highly skilled players on Färjestad, and nice addition to the hockey club. A look at some of Gulash's fine work.
He wears number 44.
Love the patience. Good celebration. Some of his handiwork from the top of the circle.
Gulash from the Czech Republic. Passers Ricard Pauline and Jack Connolly.
Gotta get that last one. Yeah, and it's just a chip there, RJ, and we talked about that. You simply have to make contact, and you saw that one there. Just a slight chip on the outside part of the target.
Oh, boy. So 4 for 7 for Milan Gulash. Just getting enough of that target. Ryan Strome will be next up for the American Hockey League. Colton Sevier, Travis Morin. There's a good look at all you need to call that a hit target.
That's it. Doesn't take much. Strome, the 5th overall pick to the New York Islanders. I'm going to wear number 81 here.
Not far removed from his first NHL goal on January 6th.
Highly suspected that once the Olympic break comes to an end, that Strome will return with the Islanders. And what a performance by Ryan Strome. All smiles, and why wouldn't you be? 4 for 6. Good quick release, soft take of the pass, and quick work for Ryan Strome.
Coming up for Färjestad will be Magnus Nygren, so put some targets up, tighten the twine on the net. Saw what he could do in the hardest shot.
That's awesome. I haven't seen anything like that. 104.6 miles per hour. Now, you don't need that kind of strength in this competition. It's all about the accuracy.
16 games for the Hamilton Bulldogs earlier this season.
Reassigned Färjestad on the 27th of November. Former 4th round pick of the Canadiens in the 2011 National Hockey League draft.
Every team wants that guy who can boom it from the point.
That counts as an attempt. That's the other thing to keep in mind. If you don't take the pass cleanly, it still does count as an attempt. So there is that element to this competition.
And a little chip on that top left one was good enough.
Four of 6, and that's where the importance of taking the pass comes into play there. Nygren, you get a look at the net. As hard as he shoots the puck, there's no question those targets were going to take a beating.
Tied for the best so far with Ryan Strome. 4 targets in 6 attempts. Luke Adam next up. Rochester Americans. 84 games with Buffalo in his NHL career.
Former Dudley Garrett Trophy winners, the American Hockey League's Rookie of the Year in the 2010-2011 season. There we go. It's funny how once you break the ice, things really start to roll from there.
And Luke Adam found his range at the end. 4 for 8 for Luke Adam.
Took a little while to get going. And again, we talked about the ability to take that pass. If you miss the pass, it still counts as an attempt. So Adam goes 4 for 8.
Final shooter for Färjestad. Per Oslund. 10 goals this season in 49 games with Färjestad.
Longtime veteran of the program, winning a couple of championships. Tied for the team lead with 19 goals last year.
4 for 7 for Oslund.
Another look at his handiwork from behind the net. Somewhat similar to the view you'd have as a goaltender. I'm not so sure I'd want to be one of those guys.
No, we're better off where we are. Hockey fans, visit AHLstore.com today to buy officially licensed AHL team jerseys from Reebok. AHLstore.com. Head there now, save 15% on all items when you type in the promo code GOAL. AHLstore.com is your best source for terrific AHL licensed apparel, pucks, and other great merchandise. And it comes down to the final shooter, captain of the St. John's Ice Caps, Jason Jaffrey.
So many times you want to get that puck and stick on, handle it just a little bit. Also have to take into consideration the element of the quick release. 4 of 6 for Jaffrey.
Jason Jaffrey tied for the lead at 4 for 6 with Ryan Strome and Magnus Nygren.
of 28 for Färjestad, 15 of 28 for the American Hockey League All-Stars.
They'll do some calculations here.
I fumbled 2, so I moved.
Figure out.
I'll take 4 for 6.
Couple of goals at stake. Färjestad came into the Pepsi accuracy shooting up by 1, 5-4.
There are 3 players with that 4 for 6. It started with Ryan Strome, followed up by Magnus Nygren, and then Jason Jaffrey at the end of the competition also goes 4 for 6.
So I'm being told each team will get a point for the tying in the accuracy shooting. And the best average goes to Färjestad, so now they've moved ahead 7-5. Here's Rob.
Well, Ryan Strome gave it his best effort. That's what they pay you for. They want you to pick the corners. How tough is something like that?
Yeah, you just got to take your time and, try to make the best of it.
I know that you told me earlier today that the Islanders wanted you to come back and get some time in and continue to play during the Olympic break.
Yeah, I mean, it's important. A young guy, you play a lot of games, and, it's a good league, so any games you get count, and you're just trying to make it to the next level.
Now, going through your career, you played in some all-star games. What's it like to be with these guys playing an international flavor game?
Yeah, it's a privilege. I mean, I'm a young guy here, so, I look up to these guys, and, it's cool to be on the same ice with them for sure.
Enjoy this experience.
Thank you.
Ryan Strome went 4 for 6, trying to keep his team close, trailing by 2.
Strome, along with Jason Jaffrey and Magnus Nygren, all at 4 for 6. 1 point for the AHL All-Stars, 2 for Färjestad, and they lead 7-5. The completes its historic tour of the AHL with a game against the Toronto Marlies at Ricoh Coliseum this Saturday, February 15th. This exciting matchup is a great way to get ready for international hockey over the next few weeks. It's a unique opportunity, perfectly suited of one of the world's greatest hockey cities. For information on tickets, call 416-597-7825 or log on to marlies.ca. The Assante Wealth Management Pass and Score is the 6th event. It's brought to you by Assante, providing complete financial advice. For this event, there will be 3 shooters and a goalie, 2 rounds per team, and each team alternates. 30 seconds on the clock. Every goal scored counts toward the overall total. And for Färjestad, it will be Per Oslund, Joakim Hilding, Patrick Lund.
Good for the coaches to keep line mates together here. Remember, you have to make at least 2 passes before the puck goes to the back of the net. You can't take a slap shot. Rebounds also not allowed.
Every player has to touch it.
Ooh, now it counts.
Pretty good start for Oslund, Hilding, and Lund.
The other rule in this competition is that the players must reset on side. So a good stop there by Allen as Färjestad goes 2 for 3.
Well, those are some of the gunners for Färjestad, and they came out gunning with 2 quick goals. Jake Allen got him on the last one.
This is where you think Färjestad would have an edge because they play as a team all year round. They know each other really well. The chemistry should be there. That's not the case for the AHL All-Stars, so they're going to have to find chemistry pretty quickly here.
For the American Hockey League All-Star shooters, it will be Frederick St. Denis of Springfield, his Falcons teammate Cody Golubeff, and Joe Whitney of the Albany Devils, and Frederick Pettersson-Wenzel, who was very good for Färjestad in the first goaltending event, will be the man to try to backstop Färjestad in the Assante Wealth Management pass and score.
So Färjestad throwing out its first line to open this contest, and now you have the coaching staff, Jeff Blashill and Rob Zettler, having to put teammates together here as this trio able to score on its first attempt.
Golubeff with the finish. A save for Pettersson-Wenzel.
And the final attempt as everyone has to remain on side here.
The rubber match puck, and it does get past Pettersson-Wenzel. 2 goals for the trio of St. Denis, Golubeff, and Whitney.
Pettersson-Wenzel trying to go for the old double pad stack. It didn't quite work out. Putting the teammates together here. Work to the benefit of the American Hockey League All-Stars, the double pad stack, old school. Doesn't work.
Lifted the pads, though. Might have had it if he left them on the ice. Next up for Färjestad, Christian Berglund, Ricard Wallin, a couple of NHL vets, and Milan Gulash against Dustin Tokarski of the Hamilton Bulldogs.
A lot of skill and experience in this group as well. So Leif Carlson going with his vets. Rebound pops out. Good stop by Tokarski.
Ricard Wallin, Berglund, Gulash.
The backhand and in. Good 3-way passing. They'll try and go 2 for 3 like everybody else so far.
Oh, Wallin finishes it, and the trend continues. 2 goals for Berglund, Wallin, and Gulash.
And taps all around as they return to the bench. Good movement of the puck here. Sending it back and putting it on a platter. Tokarski with the half-hearted poke check attempt, and it failed.
Now for the AHL All-Stars, it'll be Chad Billings of the Abbotsford Heat, Brett Connolly of Syracuse, Brendan Kitchton of St. John's against Pekka Tuokala.
Färjestad has increased its lead to 4 here, an 11-7 lead right now. Pad stack. Remember, every goal in this event counts toward the total score.
Connolly off the post. Last chance here, Kitchton. They're coming down in the line. Connolly to finish it. That's pretty. Nicely done, guys.
Hey, good planning right there.
Strategy pays off.
A little bit of Harlem Globetrotters. The triple I formation. The backhanded goes and upstairs.
And the excellent strategy is the defenseman let the forward finish things off. Brett Connolly gets 2 goals for that trio. And it remains a 2-goal lead for Färjestad, 11-9, and the goalies getting busy, really busy, in fact. Interview time. Here's Rob.
Dustin Tokarski of the Hamilton Bulldogs. You guys come out, you watch a couple of events, then they throw you in for the rapid fire, you rest again for a couple of events, and then they throw this one at you. It's got to be tough to try to get into a rhythm.
Yeah, it's tough, but it's fun, and there's some good moves out there, a couple lucky ones, and it's all good.
Watch your guys do the I formation goal. That was pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. That's why they're all-stars, I guess.
Tell me about playing against this team from the Swedish Hockey League. It's a great opportunity, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's exciting to play a a team from overseas, and it should be a good one tomorrow.
Still got lots of work ahead. Enjoy.
Yep, thank you.
There we go. And again, boy, it's tough to be a goaltender in this event because you don't ever get a chance to get into a rhythm, RJ.
You don't, and now the big one for the goaltenders is coming up. We thought that one was tough. It's the AHL Live Breakaway Relay coming up, and that will decide the AHL St. John's, Newfoundland, the site of the 2014 AHL All-Star Classic. And Sam, everywhere we go, we're used to Rob Faulds being the most popular guy in the building. Well, that's not the case today, but he's standing beside the most important man and popular man in the building, Luke Adam. Rob?
And I will feed off all that love and adulation. Luke Adam, you come back home to play in this event, and you get a standing ovation at the start of the game. How did that feel?
Yeah, it was pretty neat. You know what? It's great to be back here. I love Newfoundland, and all the support from all the fans in the house tonight. That was special for sure.
Getting the call to this game, knowing it was coming back here, do you have any extra butterflies?
Yeah, a little bit. You know what? It's a real good honor to be named to this team, and obviously to have it at home. It's a huge thrill, so I couldn't be happier to be here.
You got 20 goals so far. Tell me about your season.
It's going well right now. You know, the team's playing really well right now, and that's the main thing. So hopefully we can keep building on what we've got going right now and roll into the playoffs.
You saw the love that was in the house. What do you think about tomorrow when John Slaney goes into the Hall of Fame for the American Hockey League?
Yeah, I mean, the people here love John, and he had such a great career, and you know what, he's a great guy too. So the city loves him, and I couldn't be happier for him. Congratulations, John, on that honor.
Pretty nice homecoming, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great.
Luke Adam, well, I'm going to share the love with Luke. There we go.
It's not for you, Faldsy.
Well, Luke Adam, right from St. John's, Newfoundland, and a good list of active NHL players born and raised in Newfoundland and Labrador.
Yeah, I know Ryan Clough was on his way back here to spend some time at home with friends and family. Teddy Purcell lighting it up with Tampa Bay, of course, the Michael Ryder, his brother Daniel, Adam Party playing with Winnipeg right now from Bonavista. So a pretty healthy contingent of players from Newfoundland and Labrador. Nice to see.
Well, they love their hockey here, and we're down to Event 7. It's the AHL Live Breakaway Relay, brought to you by AHL Live. Watch every AHL game online all season long on AHL Live, including the AHL All-Star Classic. 5 shooters and a goalie, 4 rounds per team. Each team will alternate, so each goaltender gets 2 turns, 50 seconds on the clock. Every goal scored counts towards the overall total. That's the Cole's Notes version of what will happen.
This is big for the American Hockey League, trailing by 2 here. 11-9 the score for the Färjestad in the lead.
Here's the man that's stolen the show tonight, Magnus Nygren. Hardest shot, did well in the accuracy, misses here.
Remember, the next player can't go until the player who just shot, great goal there by Shillington, comes back across the blue line.
Per Oslund, stopped by Jake Allen. Joachim Hilding, he's filled the net this season for Färjestad. Again, Jake Allen comes up with a save.
3 for 4 in saves for Jake Allen.
Patrick Lund plays on the top line for Färjestad, and he gets one to go.
Good shot going up top for Lund. And the nicest goal of the 2 scored has to be the 16-year-old Oliver Shillington, slipping to the backhand and sliding at 5-hole on Allen, and then the second of 2 goals, Lund going up top as he gets Allen sliding towards the blocker post.
2 more points for Färjestad. A lot of smiles over on that Färjestad side. They're putting the pressure on the American Hockey League All-Stars. First shooter, here's Luke Adam. Coming in on Fredrik Pettersson-Wenzel.
Backhand fanned on by Adam. Pad save.
TJ Brennan, Toronto Marlies, 20 goals as a defenseman.
Ooh, that's pretty. You're going to see that one a lot later on. Unbelievable TJ Brennan. Bring you right out of your seat.
Brandon Perry of Rockford, oh boy, just rolled off his stick, had the makings of a pretty move.
13-9 lead for Färjestad.
Braden McNabb wondered if he was going to take that slap shot. He's got a big shot. Can't beat Pettersson-Wenzel though. And now Mike Hoffman. Second in American Hockey League scoring. Wasn't that move perfected by a Swedish player?
Yeah, and Hoffman just continuing on with it and doing a great job here. 2 for 5, the AHL All-Stars.
Bit of Peter Forsberg in that move.
How about this one? Around the back and up top, underneath the bar. That's a little bar down action for the 20-goal scorer from the Toronto Marlies.
Coach Steve Spott must have taught him that one.
Yeah, not so sure about that, but Hoffman perfecting the Forsberg as you talked about.
Here's Rob.
I'm on the Färjestad bench with Håkan Loob, who's the general manager of Färjestad BK, and look it up with 13-11. And, you know, take a look at this guy here in the video. Does he look familiar to you, Håkan?
Oh, yeah, and it looked a lot better than the old days.
He's a star with the Calgary Flames. He lit the lamp a number of times, and he knows what it is to celebrate a Stanley Cup victory, now trying to win a championship in the Swedish Hockey League. Håkan, tell me about this opportunity, bringing your team to North America for not only the All-Star Classic, but to play the Toronto Marlies.
I think it's a great opportunity for our organization. I think it's a very good idea to bring the international flavor to this, and we're really grateful to be here. And the welcoming we have gotten is just amazing, so we're happy to be here.
Now, the American Hockey League went to the Spengler Cup. You've come to the American Hockey League. You have to get your teams to adapt to a smaller rink. Right now, it looks like they're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, I think our young kids are doing a great job so far tonight, and tomorrow we'll show a little bit more.
Now, one guy had a nice little shot of 104 miles an hour. Very Håkan Loob-like, right?
Well, I don't know about that. 64 maybe.
Enjoy your time here. Great to see you.
Thanks a lot.
Håkan Loob, very happy right now when he looks up at the scoreboard.
Yes, Färjestad with a 13-11 lead here at the 2014 AHL All-Star Skills Competition into the second round of the AHL Live Breakaway Relay. Going for Färjestad, Ville Lialunen against Dustin Tokarski, and Tokarski the save.
Loob has done such a great job. This team has faced adversity all season long, but find themselves in a playoff spot right now, sitting 8th amongst 12 teams in the Swedish Hockey League.
Wilhelm Westlund was stopped. How about Christian Berglund? There's some veteran savvy to score on Tokarski.
Connolly, former Hobie Baker Award winner in the NCAA, stopped. Glove side.
Milan Gulash. And Tokarski stopped that too.
A great job there by Tokarski, and we saw it a little earlier where Tokarski was hesitant to come out with the poke check, this time against Connolly. Makes the glove stop there, and a little later the poke check on Gulash.
Just one goal beat Dustin Tokarski. That from Christian Berglund, and the AHL All-Stars needed a goaltending performance like that. Can the shooters follow up?
All smiles for Tokarski.
3-goal lead for Färjestad right now. We know that Colton Sevier, the Texas Stars, can score. Leading goal scorer in the American Hockey League.
Scored his first National Hockey League goal on the 14th of December and puts one in here for the AHL.
Well, how's that for degree of difficulty? The horn goes, he kept going, still scored.
Trenko looking 5-hole, can't find it.
Colton Sissons, Milwaukee Admirals, second-round pick of the Nashville Predators. Can't score on the backhand. Pekka Tuukala coming up big. Cody Golubev. It's caught by Tuukala.
Trying to match their performance of Dustin Tokarski to keep the lead intact.
Ryan Gibbons, he can't score either, so Pekka Tuukala answers that performance from Tokarski and only allows one goal. It's still a 2-goal lead for Färjestad.
Tuukala looking good. Sevier, the lone AHL player to score as he slips it through the 5-hole, but other than that, Tuukala stopped the next 4.
I like that goal too. The buzzer went, he looked back, kept going. Good concentration. Third round coming up in the AHL Live Breakaway Relay.
I have no idea what I'm going to do. Slap shot? I think the goalie might do it.
Nicholas Arel, Ludwig Bistrom, Pontus Åberg, Linus Fruberg and Joachim Nygård.
Rules being explained here, and one thing you have to keep in mind as a goaltender, you're responsible for clearing the rebound. You need to get the puck out of the way.
Here's RL, the defenseman. Very nice goal. Ludwig Bistrom.
Bistrom trying to chip it up to himself and can't get control of it on the way down.
Pontus Oberg. He snaps it home, and now that's 2 goals in this round for Färjestad. Linus Fruberg. He's stopped by Jake Allen.
Paddle down stop there by Allen as Fruberg tried to go 5-hole.
The speedy Joachim Nygård. And he hits iron. 2 goals for Färjestad.
Oberg with a beautiful goal. You'll see him just angle the blade here quickly, and that detracts the attention of Allen away, and the forehand he goes. And then a little later, Allen in goal for Team AHL, and they continue to trail here by 4.
American Hockey League All-Stars having trouble closing the gap. They're down to 2 rounds left. They got some good ones in this group, including the first man who will shoot, Travis Morin, the leading point getter in the American Hockey League this season.
11 games in the month of January. He scored 10 goals and 11 assists for 21 points.
A few fakes. Didn't fool Fredrik Pettersson-Wenzel. Ben Street of the Abbotsford Heat. Oh, it's caught by Pettersson-Wenzel.
Pettersson-Wenzel looked to fake there with the poke check and instead stayed back and made the save.
Frederick St. Denis, does he have some veteran tricks? Not enough to beat Pettersson-Wenzel. Joe Whitney. Very nice. That gets a woo from the crowd. This might too. Brendan Kitchton. Oh, a look behind by Pettersson-Wenzel.
And it'll count. Whitney with the dazzling play. The Albany Devils star decides to lose once he lost control. Goes to the backhand. The forward momentum still going, so it does count. And then Kitchton here for the Ice Caps tucks it in off the bar.
2 goals for the AHL All-Stars. And we're sitting the same place we have for a while now. Färjestad up by 2 goals, and now we enter the final round.
Remember, this is also the final element of the goaltenders competition as well. So not only does every goal count, but 1/3 of the goaltenders competition being fought for here as well.
Here's Sean Bell. North American hockey fans very familiar with him. Dustin Tokarski stopped him. Charles Bertrand. Oh, that's pretty. There's some skill in that goal. Tomashika. Oh, he got fancy too. Off the crossbar. Ricard Wallin. Tokarski waited him out. Christopher Forsberg. And Tokarski gets the poke check in there.
That's the thing. Once you put it in the minds, you have to be aware of that if you're coming down to shoot on Tokarski, that he will throw the stick out there. But how about this goal by Bertrand? Something else between the legs and then back. And just when you think he's going to go up top to the backhand between the legs, he pulls it back out in front of him again and then goes to the backhand. Ah, sensational.
Gets better every time I see it.
He could try to do the same, but not quite.
Well, Charles Bertrand with a beautiful goal, but it was the only goal of the group.
Acknowledgement from the fans here at the Mile One Center.
The American Hockey League All-Stars need 3 to tie. There's one from Brett Connolly. Here's Chad Billings. Abbotsford Heat. Ooh, the quick pads of Pekka Tuokala with the stop. Ryan Strome. He's put up some big numbers in his rookie season. There's why.
No doubt one of the specialties for Strome, the shootout.
Luke Adam. Got a good shot, but can't beat Tuokala. They need a goal to tie. It comes down to Jason Jaffrey of the St. John's Ice Caps. He scores! In the clutch, they needed their captain to come through, and Jason Jaffrey does. It's tied at 17.
How about that? Coming down to the final shooter. Who'd have thought a skills competition would go this much to the wire? And for Jaffrey, able to complete the goal. The fans here in St. John's love it. Why not? Their Ice Caps captain tying it up.
Who writes the script? That's a pretty good finish, but it's not finished yet because we are tied. The tiebreaker will be a sudden death one-on-one.
Fuck off. I would have to go Connolly for sure. What would you think? TJ's good.
Jeff Blashill over there, Rob Zettler discussing with the captain, Jason Jaffrey, who should be the guy to go here for Team AHL. I heard him say Connolly. That wouldn't be a bad choice. World-class talent for Brett Connolly, who, by the way, his parents are from St. John's.
Well, I see who's out for Färjestad. Pretty good choice, too.
The option picked the goalie as well, and you can see they're doing paper, rock, scissors over there in the AHL bench to see who gets the goal.
Charles Bertrand appears to be the man who will shoot for Färjestad. He'll face a different goalie this time.
The paper, rock, scissors. I'm not so sure if you're Allen, you wanted to win that one after what we saw from Bertrand earlier in the competition.
Well, Charles Bertrand against Jake Allen. We are into sudden death now. More great stick handling, but didn't finish this time. Jake Allen credited with the save.
I love the patience there from Allen, and sometimes when players get fancy, it's tough for a goaltender to maintain that composure, to maintain that ability to stay back. Great patience on the part of Allen.
And that means if the American Hockey League All-Stars can score here, they will win. TJ Brennan of the Toronto Marlies going in on Frederick Pettersson-Benzel, and he does not score.
Hey, why not? Let's keep it going. Let's add to the drama here. TJ Brennan faking forehand, loses control of it as he looks to the backhand, and this thing remains tied.
It is Pontus Oberg, stopped by Dustin Tokarski.
A little more of a simple approach from Oberg on that occasion, and Tokarski replacing Allen makes the stop.
Mike Hoffman will go, and they will stay with Frederick Pettersson-Benzel in goal for Färjestad. Chance to win for the AHL, and Pettersson-Benzel, a clutch goaltender, makes another big save.
Not an easy stop. Hoffman's got a bullet of a shot. Tries to go blocker side low, and stopped there by Tuokko.
Magnus Nygren. Oh, what was that one? 105? Didn't score.
Thought he would have wanted the opportunity against Tokarski. He didn't get it, so Nygren stopped.
This is what the crowd wanted. Jason Jaffrey, a chance to win it for the American Hockey League. Jaffrey scores. The AHL All-Stars win. What a script. The St. John's Ice Caps captain comes through for the hometown crowd and gets the victory for the American Hockey League.
And why wouldn't he? I mean, it was Jaffrey who had the chance to tie things up for Team AHL with the final shot. He did so, and he gets the winner as well.
What a 2014 AHL All-Star Skills Competition. It went right down to the wire. We'll have more after this.
What a moment for Jason Jaffrey. Look what he gives his son Jackson. He's got a nice souvenir from the AHL All-Star Classic. He will remember that forever. Now time for the award presentation. Let's join Chris Batstone once again.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome AHL President and CEO Dave Andrews to present the awards to the individual and team winners of tonight's AHL All-Star Skills Competition. To help present the first three awards, please also welcome to the ice Tim Schultz from Reebok CCM. The winner of the CCM Fastest Skater event with the time of 13.90 seconds is Mike Hoffman from the AHL All-Stars. The winner of the CCM Hardest Shot Competition with a blast of 104.6 miles per hour is Magnus Nygren from Färjestad, BK. The winner of the CCM Top Goaltender Competition with 15 saves in 23 attempts, Dustin Tokarski from the AHL. To help present the next awards, please welcome Blair Patrick, Director of Marketing for Browning Harvey Limited, proud bottlers of Pepsi in Newfoundland and Labrador. The winner of the Pepsi Accuracy Shooting Event are from the AHL Jason Jaffrey, from the AHL Ryan Strome, and from Färjestad BK Magnus Nygren with 4 out of 6 attempts. And for the final award of the night, please welcome Assante Wealth Management Senior Vice President Jamie Ross. The 2014 AHL All-Star Skills Competition Team Award is presented to Team Captain Jason Jaffrey as the AHL All-Stars defeated Färjestad BK by a score of 18-17.
What a terrific end to the AHL All-Star Skills. We'll come back and wrap it up from St. John's, Newfoundland. This is the AHL All-Star Classic.